What a beautiful day here on Your Image, your flagship program on public relations on television. We're glad to be with you once again, and I have today my prominent guests talking about the chairman of Association of Secondary School
Academic Staff
of Secondary Schools, and the person of Comrade Dr. AGBESANWA, FELIX. He is the Ogun State Chapter Chairman. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you,
it's a pleasure. I also want to warmly welcome ADEBAYO ADEBORI. ADEBAYO is a coach, Teach for Nigeria. He's been prominent on this platform, and I hear again you are.
So nice to be here. Thank you so much.
It's nice to have you once again. The topic for the day has to do with the new curriculum on skill acquisition in our institutions, secondary and primary schools. And well, the two men are able people who are grounded and who will be enlightening us on the statements of the Honorable Minister of Education in Nigeria. That's talking about Professor Tahir Mamman. There was a proclamation that come this new session that we are going to have a new curriculum on vocational skills in those schools. How prepared are we? Cover it.
Thank you so much, sir. The problem we have in Nigeria is poor evaluation. Poor evaluation. The past curriculum that was in place 12 years ago, how are we able to achieve the goals and objectives of the past curriculum? Curriculum that is in use now was established 12 years ago by the then curriculum planner. We have been saying it all around, and we do say it to everybody that cares to listen, that curriculum plan should be given to those on the field, not those that are in the offices, because they don't know what we are passing through. Now, Professor Mama cannot be blamed because he is not on the field. How can a law professor just come and just be appointed to come and head ministry called education? He may not understand what we are passing through. He is a lawyer. He's not an educationist. They may be a professor of law in the university, but that doesn't qualify him to become an educationist. Educationist must be someone that has gone through the rudiments of education. Now, the curriculum that has been introduced, do we need it at this present time? Uncle Nigerian, do we need it now? We don't need it now, because the past curriculum on ground, how able have we able to achieve it? We have 3 subjects in the curriculum, in the one that we are using now. As that 3 subjects, has it materialized to make our students to be much more effective? We said people should be engaged in some certain aspect of life in this curriculum of event. Now, how able has that curriculum be achieved before we introduce a new one? Before you can introduce a new one, that means there must be a kind of weakness or haphazardness in the curriculum that has been in existence. As educationists, I can tell you with all sincerity, we have yet to achieve the curriculum we are using presently. Because you said 3 subjects should be there. How are we sure all our children are going through that 3 subject? What is the usefulness of that 3 subject in university when they get admission? Are they going to go to university and be studying civic education in university? They said they should study, what do you call it, music. Do you have enough personnel on ground to go look into the curriculum we are using now? History has been introduced to the new curriculum. Excuse me, Sarah, and the audience. How many history teachers do we have in our school presently? How many history do we have in our school? Presently now we have shortage of personnel of this curriculum, of this subject that has been introduced. And we are saying we want to introduce another new curriculum. Maybe if there's no failure for the curriculum, we don't need the curriculum.
Maybe I want to ask you, if there's going to be a shift, it has to start from somewhere. Maybe the federal government is ready to make a change.
Thank you, sir. Change is inevitable, says a maxim. If we're not going to want to make a change, we are not animals in this country, please, for God's sake. We are people that have knowledge. We are people that have reasoning. We are people that are organized. Change must be done with carrying along all necessary stakeholders and by evaluating the curriculum that is in use. Have you able to evaluate curriculum that is in use before? Have they been able to achieve the present curriculum?
Well, maybe when we go on, we'll continue to elaborate more on that. Let's look at the needs of the new curriculum that have been talked about. Any benefit when it comes?
Yes. So the new curriculum that is being proposed, because I will call it a proposal, because school is supposed to resume in the next about a week, and teachers are not really in the know of how to go about it. However, it is a very great thing. I believe it is long overdue anyway. Though just as the ASSUS chairman has just said, the issue we are having is around implementation. And as I said earlier, one thing is important. The main users of the curriculum, the critical stakeholders that we are talking about are the teachers. They are the ones that will implement it. Are they really involved? But I'm not going to dwell on that. I want to really talk about it from the angle of what they are bringing in. So as it stands now, the Nigerian Bureau of Statistics have told us that we have close to about 10%, over 10% of Nigerians are unemployed. So that comes with something. And I believe that that is the angle whereby the government is coming from. Now, looking at what they are bringing, they want to introduce some skills. All over the world, it is important for us to note that what we have currently as our curriculum and what we are even preparing our students for, we are preparing them for a future that we are not even aware of. Because the future of work, nobody knows what they are even going to be doing. Because now that AI is taking over most of these things, there are some transversal skills that are important for them to actually know. So these are what I feel the government should actually work on. However, it is a good start. As they are bringing this one, maybe they will further equip the teachers to be able to adequately implement these skills. They will further support and fund education such that all the resources that are needed to be able to bring these things to light will be done. Because it is not just about having the plan. It is about how to go about it and bringing it to life. So talking about this, we also need to look at it from probably that will also enhance and help us to reduce the out-of-school children that we have. Currently, Nigeria has over 20 million out-of-school children, and that is a huge number. We talk about criminality, we talk about insecurity, and then we begin to look at it as, okay, we are recruiting more police officers, even if we recruit millions of police officers. If these systemic problems are not really talked about, if the solution is not gotten to this, because you can't expect people who are hungry to just sit down and not eat and not do anything for themselves. They try to look for work, and then they get there and they are told that, okay, what do you need? What do you want? What do you have? Oh yes, you have a first degree. Oh, assuming you have a master's. And people will even go ahead and do masters. They will tell them, okay, assuming you have PhD. Even with their PhD, you hear them telling them that, oh, it is not this field. Assuming you have your PhD in this field, maybe we'll have taken you. So these are the questions that comes to mind. These are the concerns that we believe that the government is trying to find solutions to.
Thank you very much. Comrade, if in your inner mind, if you are supposed to be the anchor person for this program, what will you advise so that we can have a successful transition?
My advice is this: let our curriculum planner be practical. We are tired of theory in Nigeria. Why we have failed educational system is because we are not practical.
So what do you mean by being practical?
Let them go back to the field and involve those on the field to plan the curriculum. Excuse me, sir, I'm proud to be a teacher. I'm a grassroots teacher by the grace of God. Where my mate can stand, I can stand there. Let the curriculum planner come back to the grassroots and feel the pain and know what we are passing through on the field and in the educational sector. Now let me give you an example now. If I want to teach a student geography,
I should be able to teach that student geography using my immediate environment example. Yes or no?
Using
yes,
technology.
Use my immediate example, my immediate environment, whether it's technology or technology. I should be able to use my immediate environment where the students are familiar to.
Okay.
Not reading the book. I tell them that this is what they said we should do. Now I heard of a story. A twin brother of my friend finished HND here in Nigeria, traveled abroad. Everything he was taught here was condemned when he got to abroad. He started afresh again. Why? Because in abroad they involve themselves from the grassroots planner. Why can't our national planner also institute that one from Nigeria in Nigeria?
Perhaps you want to inform us of those things that were being done over there that are missing here, so that we can get to copy.
Some of those things that are done over there is that they don't work on theory, they work on practical. Professor Maman has not been able to practicalize what he has said. Like my other speaker said, yep. It's a proposal. Proposal is better we condemn proposal now before it's being utilized. And our National Assembly has kicked against it. Because they also know the effect of the danger of the new curriculum. The danger of the new curriculum states that students that are not up to 18 years old should not write WAEC. Are you making our children?
But that's a different.
Excuse me. It's part of the curriculum. It's part of the new curriculum. Professor Mama said it. Part of the new curriculum. But whether bug game or no bug game, it comes out with the curriculum. That they said anyone that's not up to 18 should not write WAEC. Most of them that are up there today, were they up to 18 years old before they write their WAEC? Like I told some people, the problem we have in Nigeria is that we are too theoretical in nature. We are not being factual. Being factual means that we want to know what is going on. How do we want to challenge this, to attack this problem of educational imbalancing? Number one, to attend to it is that number one, let's take that on the field, come around and.
Okay, let me ask you. Agree that there's need for a thorough shift.
Yes.
And thorough planning in this scenario that is building.
Assuming. You said assuming.
Yeah, because you have already said that.
Because you said assuming. I mean, as a dictionary, I don't think we need any thorough shift. Because before you can say thorough shift, it means that we have experienced a kind of lackadaisical attitude in the old curriculum.
Is that not what we are saying?
You are saying, I'm saying assuming. And we don't need any thorough shift for now. What we need now is implementation of the old curriculum. How effective are the old curriculum be affected?
Okay, let me ask you this question. Without the past,
there cannot be present.
And we cannot further into the future.
Yes, sir.
So agree that the current curriculum has not been fully implemented.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And we are also planning, government is also planning to introduce, to add to the curriculum in a way that it will create betterment, to create improvement in the educational sector.
I love that word.
So, how will you now project that the Ministry of Education should handle this situation?
Comrade, I love that word you said, sir. Not that to change, to add. That word should have been used by our favorable Minister of Education. Not that you say that you are proposing a new curriculum. If you are adding to the old curriculum, it's okay. That we want to add some changes to it that can make it to work very well. And I'm happy OGTV is being watched all over the world. I know Minister of Education may be watching it in his office now. Nobody is saying that you should not implement any new proposal. But add to what has been on ground and try to sieve out the one that is bad and the one that is good, so that we can make it of the good one and make our students to further more in their studies. If they want to add more, there's no problem. There's no crime in that one, sir. If you want to add new changes, it's okay. But add changes that are practical. Not changes that will make our students to be backward.
Okay, let's go practical. Adebori,
yeah.
Let's have an assessment of what is on ground in schools now.
I love that.
And your projection.
Okay. So, as I said earlier, the assessment is we have about 60% of primary schools, primary 6 pupils that are leaving school, graduating, doing celebrations that, okay, they finish their primary school, and then they cannot even read. So the reality is that millions of children in Nigeria lack access to an excellent education that will give them a successful future. And that is the major issue we are having. It is not just about going to school. Just as Comrade said, if we have children going to school using 6 years in primary school, and then after 6 years, they cannot even read. Now imagine if that child goes to learn mechanic. Would that child use 6 years without learning anything? So these are the issues we are having. So let me use my organization for instance. In Teach for Nigeria, what we do is we work towards ensuring that every Nigerian child have access to an excellent education. And how do we do this? We mobilize young graduates who serve as teachers in primary schools and secondary schools. In addition to that, we believe that we also need to further upskill the current teachers that are in those schools. So we also recruit existing teachers, we call them existing teachers, to join the movement. And then what they are doing is to ensure that they support these children such that they know why they are in school. And the focus is not even only on literacy, numeracy, and science. We also develop social emotional skills, skills that are transversal. We work on their growth mindset, we work on their self-awareness, we develop their communication skills, we develop their collaboration skills, because in this future that we are going, it's important for us to be able to work with others. When Facebook started, it said Mark Zuckerberg he invited about 5 of his friends. And then on the day that they were to start the meeting, he said about 3 of them showed up. Those 3 are billionaires now in dollars. The remaining people that did not show up, it comes to the level of how do we work together? We come to our schools, we discover that some of these kids, they leave school, they find it difficult to even keep friends. And these are the things that they need to develop. If you are thinking of starting a company, you are thinking of, working with someone, it is important for you to know that there are some things that are important. How do I work with this person? How do I make friends? How do I develop? How do I communicate? Because these are things that are very, very important. And it's also important for us to know ourselves. So I believe that if these ones are done, it will help these students to really know why they are in school. It develops that creativity in them. And there is something we call the 4 C's of the 21st century: communication, creativity, critical thinking, and collaboration. So if these children, if they don't develop these ones, and then they are in school, learning this curriculum, they are talking about bringing in fashion designing, hairdressing and all. But I need you to know that you cannot walk a whole street and not find at least 2 fashion designers there. So it is not that these things are not in existence, but how do we continue to support them? How do we help them upskill? How do we help them to get to where they are supposed to get to? These are the things that I believe are critical and important for us to do.
Yeah, well explained. I appreciate you. Comrade,
Yes, sir.
you are on the ground, as said.
Yes, sir.
And we know that in most primary and secondary schools, upscaling, skill acquisition, compare the past from the future.
Yes, sir.
How do we bridge it?
Skill acquisition has been on ground and has been in existence for long. When I was in primary school, we have something called creative art. We have creative art corner in our primary school then. I went to a government primary school, practice primary school, Abeokuta. And I'm proud to say it anywhere. When I was in school, they taught us creative, what we call split skill, how to make sure that we achieve so many things. Now, this curriculum in existence, I brought out some things which I want to eulogize here. They introduced what they call carpentry.
Okay.
They do what they call craft. They do what they call texturing, tailoring. Now, all these things have been introduced to curriculum, but our challenge is that we have the personnel on ground to teach them.
Okay.
That's why I said.
And do you have the equipment?
And that's why we said most of these things are theoretical.
Okay.
That was my point of argument when I first started.
Yes.
When I said theoretical, I meant that we have seen the curriculum in existence. But are we really practicalizing what is going on there? In our schools, how many personnel do we have to teach these people? Now let me give you an example. They said they should be teaching them music. Music has been in existence for long. I want to tell you, in our secondary school nowadays, how many music teachers do we have in our secondary school? From GS1 to SS3. How many music graduates do you have? How many personnel do we have teaching them?
So what do you prefer?
How many do we have teaching them carpentry? How many do we have teaching them bricklaying? My solution is, my suggestion, not solution, because I am not in a position to give a solution, but I can advise. My advice to the curriculum planner is this, which I'm part of them if they call us. It's number one, let us equip the schools with good apparatus, instruction materials, to be sure that these subjects are being taught. Let our students be introduced to it. Let our personnel. Don't forget, it is what they see that they learn from. Learning is by seeing. Learning is not by just...
And by practice.
Learning is not, it's not just by reading alone. When you see, you practicalize it, it makes it to work. Let me give you a funny example. If people will not make jest of me. When I failed out from my secondary school, I went to learn trade. It's not my habit to go and learn trade, but my father operated memory. After sending that for wife for 2 times, he said I can't pay your wife fees again, and I don't blame him. You know, you're a parent, you know what's going on. But when I failed out, he told me to go and learn mechanic. When I got to mechanic workshop, he did Abule Meko. I cannot forget. For the first 2 weeks I spent there, I began to identify what is called spanner, size 4, size 10, size 14. When I saw that, a day came that they beat one of my mates. Apprentice. I ran for my dear life. I said it's better to read than to come and study, come and be an apprentice over here. Yeah, but I learned through what? Through seeing and practicing. After leaving that place, I went back to go and do Brisokwe. Go and carry bricklayer. The day I broke a block at Ijaba, it's a Sana Avenue. I can never get that block industry. When I broke a block and I wanted to go and get my daily job, then the manager beat me and not give me my money. That was the last day I stayed. I stood in that place. But if all these are in practice in our secondary school system, while they are in secondary school, they are learning, they are teaching them this thing. These children, when they get to their final class, they will have developed their interest in what they want to do. Everybody will not go for government collar job. Will have picked interest in something. Do you know we have some students that are good, that are carpenters, and they go to school and they are still learning because their parents are carpenters from home. So, but if the curriculum planner provides personnel for them, they will be more better than that, and that's why we are faulting the technical education now. Technical education we are having now. Technical colleges, the major conclusion said that when students leave GSS3, those that are not brilliant, we should let them go to work, technical colleges. But now it has changed. Everybody wants to go to SS3. And second, secondary school is not meant for everybody to pass SS3. Well,
that's very lofty there, very practical, and that's a way forward to getting us to where we want our children to be. We also are looking forward to government taking up all these suggestions and putting them into practice, getting the stakeholders engaged for better planning and for ensuring that this new skill, new curriculum is properly integrated
into the old one.
Well, we will have to stop at this moment, believing that I'll still have you next week to continue this discussion. It's on that note that I want to thank Comrade Dr. AGBESANWA, FELIX Oluwaseun, the chairman of Ogun State ASSUS.
ASSUS, Academic Union Secondary School.
Well, we call them ASSUS.
ASSUS,
so,
yes, sir.
So thank you so much for the explanation.
Yeah, of course, Uncle.
Yeah.
Come on.
And I also want to appreciate the coach, Teach for Nigeria, my comrade, too, Adebayo, Adebori. Once the chairman is a committee, also a committee.
Okay, well, if you say so.
Except you say no. So it is on that note that we would like to say thank you for being with us. I'm Abeokuta, your anchor. Stay glued to your image. Come next week when we have a continuation of this program. Until then, bye.
Expert in all matches. You're an expert in statistics or people's opinions. 1xBet will help you show your expertise. Express yourself. You're the expert.
Beautiful 17-year-old Abibat Akinsoya was last seen on Friday, August 30th, 2024, when she left her father's house to assist her sister, who operates a point of sale business in Obasha village near Mile 6, Abeokuta.
Ó kàn dẹ̀ tó bí 5 wọ́n bá pè mí pé mọ́mọ́ ìbábọ́lá ìbálòmù ló lọ́ọ́ bá ń tiẹ̀ dúró sí ṣọ́ọ̀bù wọ́n ní kí n sáré ní ìsìn kí n má lọ sí ṣọ́ọ̀bù ẹnìkan pè wọ́n ní ìsìn wípé tí n bá ní ẹ̀mí àbíbálò kí n wá 1 million wà lẹ́sẹ̀ mo ní ha.
What led to her kidnapping before she was gruesomely murdered? Join us on Saturday special this week as we embark on a fact-finding mission about the death of this secondary school girl. Keep a date with us.